Muskegon Channel. It's Andy O'Reilly, and today I'm out at the Muskegon Area Intermediate School District. You know Dr. John Severson over here. Stuart Jones is down on the end, and Alison Keeson is the instigator on this one. She invited me out to talk a little bit about Read Early, Read Often, and the Great Start Collaborative. And she said, don't start with me. So I'm going to start with Alison. We've got to break the ice. We got to make everybody feel comfortable. Let's just get right to the point. Tell me about the Great Start Collaborative.
The Great Start Collaborative is a collaborative of educators, healthcare providers, businesses, community leaders, parents, all working together for 4 outcomes in the community.
And they are?
That all children are born healthy,
Yep.
that they're thriving and developmentally on track until 3rd grade, that they're developmentally ready for school upon entry, and that they're reading proficiently by the end of 3rd grade.
Where does it start?
At birth.
The reading.
At birth.
Does it
Before
start pre?
birth. Yeah.
Does it?
Yes.
Because you see the stuff on YouTube, you see the stuff online, you see the parents reading in utero to their kids. Does it really work?
Yes. Stuart?
Absolutely.
Really?
We have a program called Early Head Start where
Okay.
we work in about 150 homes, and that is one of the key practices we talk about, even prenatally. Having that mother's voice and the father's voice prenatally absolutely is beneficial. There are many studies out there. But even more important upon birth, it's not just the reading, it's that bonding between
Right.
the adult and the child right from birth. And if the child is hearing that, I will almost guarantee you a successful entry into school if that reading habit has been established prenatally through 5 years of age.
And there's probably a different level to it as well. I mean, you got this whole prenatal thing going on. It's the parents really developing their skills for when that child does come along, and then they kind of got their pattern set, and they've got their method of operation going on, and it's established and it's there, so they can just keep it up once the child's born.
It's also about the vocabulary.
Sure.
When kids get to kindergarten, they need a certain number of words in order to be ready to learn the skills that they're presented in kindergarten. And kids that are read to from birth will have heard as many as 30 million more words before kindergarten than kids who are not.
Incredible.
And so that is what we're trying to do, is bridge the achievement gap that exists between our kids in kindergarten by providing all of our children with that 30 million extra words.
As a district, John, how do we do when kids get to that level?
I think we have a lot of gaps, and the whole initiative here is to get all kids ready for kindergarten.
Sure.
And I think if we could engage our community at a higher level, and our parents, we always talk about, hey, it's great to have parents involved, but we want to engage them. Engagement is a higher level of a partnership. And with the careers and the opportunities that we're seeing forecasted for this region, it's amazing the possibilities for our kids.
Yeah.
So we need to get behind every child in this county, like they're our own. And we
Well,
do
they
that.
are. I mean,
they
they
are.
they really are. This is all of us.
And part of it is that means everybody having that same vision for every child, and this is truly a game changer when we have all kids ready for kindergarten. If we could do that better, we really believe that we'll have them reading by 3rd grade. And when kids come, to kindergarten far behind, it takes more time to get them there, and we're geared to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine if we had a higher number ready to go. And so we know there's some great challenges in this county, but we also have a great opportunity. We have a number of people behind this initiative. We have over 55 partners now that believe in this. We're doing about 2,000 books a month
Wow.
to some of our most vulnerable every month. And this started with an idea with the superintendent say, hey, what if we had kids ready for kindergarten? What would it look like? And now we have more people saying, yeah, what would it look like? How could we do this together? So it's really exciting where we are right now.
When the parents, and we're a hard-working community. We have people that have to have 2 jobs. We have people that have to have separate jobs. You got one parent out working at different shifts and all that kind of stuff. It kind of can fall back and become a crutch.
Yeah.
I don't have time. I don't have energy. I don't have research.
So let's take that idea.
Explain this to me.
Take this idea and say, let's look at everything and just instead of the hours that we work, and let's talk about even just some minutes.
Okay.
Let's just say if we could get 20 minutes a day,
Yep.
30 minutes a day. Could we make other choices in our day to get that time back?
Sure.
And I think as adults, sometimes we get lost in the hours that we work, and I get that. We're all very busy. But if I could get 20 minutes a day, there's a lot of research just that 20 minutes a day has a major impact on kids. And partly too, you could read at the store.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You can read when you're shopping. You can read at other events.
Have you been to the store with a kid lately?
Yeah. Sometimes keeping them busy is a good thing.
Probably a better idea. Yeah,
So-
think about it. They're
so
begging for everything.
I'll give you one. We have a lot of parents that have other children, and they have a young child with them, and they're going to an event, or they're going to they're going to have breakfast somewhere, or they're going to a graduation. Take a book.
Sure.
Give them something to look at. You know, the kids get anxious, and having a book in hand. And I've done that to some of the things that we go to. We'll hand books out, and we'll see kids at least have some of that time. They're looking at pictures. They're always learning.
Yep.
You know, and I think that's really important. Minutes are just as important as hours, and we can get minutes back, and then we go after the hours.
Go after the hour.
You had mentioned the lack of resources too, and that's something that I like to remind families all the time. Even if you are lacking in the ability to read yourself, simply looking at a book with a child, doing a picture walk, making up the story as you go, you're creating that bond with your child. You're also increasing their vocabulary, and you can do the same thing in the grocery store. We say read every day, everywhere, everything. But you can also tell stories with your vegetables.
Sure.
The rutabaga and the carrot. And all of that is working together to provide the same early literacy skills that we're working.
Is there a difference between the way media's changed? I mean, there's books, there's paper books, hardcovers, all that kind of stuff. Then there's the iPad. Is there a difference in where kids get their media now?
We don't, in our preschool programs, for example, we serve about 1,400 children in our county in state or Head Start federal preschool, 3 and 4 year olds. And we encourage the appropriate use of technology. It is not something to be afraid of. Where I think the concern is the over utilization
Right.
with young children and screen time, as they would call it. And you do see in the community children being handed the phone or whatever and just being set aside. If there's no adult-child interaction
Right.
going on with that screen time, probably not a good way.
Fair enough.
If there is adult-child interaction and it's limited in scope, it's really no different than reading a paper book.
Okay.
There are some good apps out there.
Sure.
And it all comes down to whether it's that parent and child interacting, or are you using the phone or whatever as a babysitter, so there's no verbal interaction.
Right.
It all comes back to what Alison said in terms of that vocabulary.
Right.
So if you're working on an iPad and you're encouraging that vocabulary, go for it.
Yeah.
If you're setting the child aside to watch a inappropriate show or whatever on an iPad.
Watch somebody unboxing things.
No,
That's another hit. I
That's
know
not
they love
healthy.
it.
That's not healthy child development.
Right, right.
So there are those out there that will swear off the screen and say no. But we have in our rooms using our Chromebases.
Sure.
At 3 and 4 years old, those children are getting used to that technology. They're gonna see it in their
Oh, I know.
K-5 career.
Yeah.
So when done appropriately, I think it's fine. Just
Good.
watch the time and make sure there's adult-child interaction going on.
Sure. Let's talk about this kickoff week coming up.
Yes.
Big week coming up.
Big week coming up. The county has officially proclaimed May 12th through the 19th, 2018, Read Early, Read Often Week.
Yep.
So we're going to use the week to highlight all the fantastic things that are happening in our community to focus on early literacy. We have over 25 events that different community organizations are hosting and that we're collaborating with them on that will happen just in that week's time. All of them are free. Many of them have free books.
Muskegon's favorite 4-letter word.
Yes. They're free. There'll be free books available at many of the events for families to take home. There will be also a chance for people to donate books, to give back. So if you have a book that you have outgrown or you're tired of, share it back and it will be redistributed in the community. So
That's an awesome way to do it.
our book drive will actually be lasting through the whole month of May.
Okay.
And there are drop-off locations all throughout the county.
Okay.
Any public school, any public library, also Baker College, and a fellowship church, and several other locations.
We'll link them all up here.
We'll,
Yeah.
go to Facebook, Read Early Facebook page. All of the events that are scheduled are getting posted right now, including the book drive, and more will be on our readearly.org
Love it.
page as well.
I've spent a minute or two with Read Muskegon, and I see the other end of this, you know, and you know, one of the things you know, you find your niche in town and where you can make a difference and make an impact. And one of the things I won't give up, and I truly enjoy, is I go to the jail on Tuesday nights for their reading program down there. And to see that even people my age and, you know, in their upper 20s and stuff, they've had a problem with the law, but to know that they still struggle with reading at that point, it's overwhelming, because I was one of these kids before any of this read early, read often came along. It was crammed down my throat as a kid to know how to read. It cost my mom. I mean, I go back to when I was 4 or 5, she told me I could get my first record if I could find it. And I couldn't necessarily read, but I could spell. And if you remember, the Bay City Rollers said Saturday, night.
Yeah.
Got
There
my
it
first
is.
record right
There
there.
it is.
So it pays to read, and it paid in spades for me, because that's where it all started. That's where my whole
That's awesome.
career came from, because I could read way back when. Read early, read often. It's going on. All the details are going to be right here on the Muskegon channel. John, always good to see you. Allison, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Stuart?
Stuart, I knew it. Busy weekend. Lots to think
that
about.
Jones name?
Stuart Jones. I know, he threw it in at the end. All the details are right here on the Muskegon channel. Make sure those kids can read. It's our future. It's all of our futures, and it's all of us as a community that's going to make the difference. Details are right here on the Muskegon channel.